Hello, amazing students. In this English class today, you are going to learn super useful expressions. These are expressions I use every day, my friends use every day, and you can use every day in your next conversation. Now, we're going to do this in a listen and repeat. So you're going to shadow me, and you're going to do that so you make sure you have correct pronunciation. So you sound just like a native. And you'll listen to me say it fast so you can hear it at a natural pace, but then I'll say it slow and I'll explain all the pronunciation changes and we'll discuss what the expression means, the grammar, the vocabulary, and then I'll say it fast again so you can hear it at the natural pace that you will hear it when you're in the real world. Are you ready? Are you excited? Let's talk about useful expressions that you can use around the house. How about this one? When are your parents getting here? That's how I would say it fast. When are your parents getting here? Now, let me say it slow and I'll explain the pronunciation changes. And if you have any questions about the meaning or pronunciation, just put it in the chat. When are. So you can do that as a more of an unstressed whenner. But you can say when are to be fully stressed or an unstressed whenner, your. So instead of your, it can be more of an unstressed your. When are your parents getting here? So with getting here, there's no linking, so there are no changes. Make sure you pronounce that H on here. It's a silent sound. It's just that puff of air. Here. When are your parents getting here? So that's at a natural pace. Make sure you open your mouth and repeat after me. When are your parents getting here? Now, notice how I'm using get here to get here. This is a more casual, a more natural, a more everyday way of saying, when are your parents arriving? That would be the replacement for a more standard verb, but native speakers would use this most of the time. Now, notice this is in the present continuous verb tense because it is in the near future. It sounds like the parents are in the process of arriving, of getting here. And then here represents wherever the people are. Maybe they're at a restaurant, maybe they're at their house, maybe they're at a park. It does not matter where they are. When are your parents getting here? When are your parents getting here? So are you opening your mouth? Make sure you open your mouth and repeat after me. So you should definitely add this to your vocabulary. Now you can say, I got here 15 minutes ago. I got to the restaurant 15 minutes ago as a replacement to arrive. Okay. I got to the restaurant. I got to the park. I got to work, for example. Now, how about this one? I'll say it fast, slow, and then fast. Do you need me to pick anything up? Do you need me to pick anything up? So notice, do you need me? Now this to will become more of an unstressed to pick anything. So this K can sound more like it's on the A because it will link it together. Pick anything. Pick anything. So that K sound will be on the next sound. Pick anything up. So for your G, when you open your mouth, you can pronounce the anything up. So you can pronounce that up when you are in the G position. Now, instead of this you can have a more unstressed ya if you want as well. Do ya? Do ya? Do you need me? Do you need me? So notice how fast that can sound. Repeat after me. Do you need me? Now, that's how a lot of native speakers will say it at a natural pace, just very unstressed. Do you need me? Do you need me to pick anything up? Now, this is an expression you definitely should add to your vocabulary. It sounds like the person is, whoever's speaking is out of the house, and maybe they're on the way home and they're asking if you want them to go to the grocery store or the bakery or any location and get something. That's the anything. Do you need me to pick anything up? So maybe the person will reply back and say, yeah, can you pick up some milk? Can you pick up some bread? Can you pick up the dry cleaning? Now, most commonly it would be a food item, but it could be something else like the dry cleaning, which means your clean clothes from the location where you get them cleaned, the dry cleaner. So, this is definitely something that mainly couples, but also if I'm going to a friend's house, now, before I get to the friend's house, I might send them a text and say, do you need me to pick anything up? Just to make sure they have everything they need. And they might say, yeah, can you pick up some ice or some club soda or whatever, some chips, whatever it is. So definitely add this to your vocabulary. And you are right. Who said here? Alexander, yes, this is a separable phrasal verb because notice anything, you can say, do you need me to pick up anything? So a separable phrasal verb means you can take the object that separates the verb, which is pick, and the preposition, which is up. And then you can take the object, anything, and it can come between the verb and the preposition, or it can come after the verb and preposition. So I could say, do you need me to pick up anything? To pick up anything. Native speakers, we tend to use it in the mid position if it is a separable phrasal verb. However, both positions are acceptable and common. All right, great observation. Hello, all the way to Japan and Pakistan. Hello to you, Mosab, and Indonesia. All right, we have students from all over the world. That is excellent. From Nepal as well. That is wonderful. From Massachusetts, hopefully it's not too cold there. That's awesome. Colombia, wonderful. Angola, woohoo! Students from all over the world. This is awesome. Turkey as well, France. Oh, welcome. I'm so glad you joined. France as well. Now, Jose asked if there is a rule to identify if it's separable or not. Unfortunately, no, there is not a rule. It is simply memorization. But don't worry, your brain is extremely powerful and it was designed to memorize things. You just need a lot of repetition. Okay. So you can do it. Don't worry. All the way to Guatemala, Mexico. Woohoo. People from all over the world. That's awesome. Greece as well. That's wonderful. Okay. Let's keep going. This is something that couples will say to each other, roommates will say to each other. If you live with your parents, then you can have this conversation with your parents as well. Did you pay the gas bill yet? Now you can replace gas bill with whatever bill. So a bill is the amount of money that you owe for a service, okay? Did you pay the gas bill yet? The internet bill, the water bill, the whatever other bills there are. So those are common ones, the electricity bill. Now, notice how I said this. I'll say it fast again, then I'll say it slow, and I'll explain some pronunciation changes. Did you pay the gas bill yet? Did you hear? Did you hear? Did you hear that j sound? Because when we combine a D and a Y, then those together form a J, just like my name, Jennifer. It's that same j sound. Did you? Did you? Did you? Now, this isn't a requirement. However, this is how native speakers will commonly say it in spoken English. So that's why it's important to get comfortable with this, but it is not a requirement for you to pronounce these sounds the same way that a native speaker does. Okay, but repeat after me. Did you? Did you? Did you? Did you pay? Did you pay the gas bill yet? Did you pay the gas bill yet? Okay. So get comfortable with hearing that did you. Of course, again, like I said, that's not required. Now, you can replace gas with whatever bill. Just know the word bill is used for services, but at a restaurant, you can ask for the bill, but it's more common to ask for the check. So at a restaurant, to get the amount of money that you need to pay, you ask for the check. Just the check. The check, please. The check, please. But you can also say bill. Okay. But it's probably more common to use check in a restaurant. So a bill is the amount of money you owe, and the receipt is what you receive after you pay. You will only get a receipt after you pay, but the bill tells you how much you need to pay. All right. And absolutely, Stefania, did you pay the electricity bill? The electricity bill? For sure. And exactly, whatever bill, whatever the bill is. Did you pay the internet bill, the phone bill, if there is such a thing? Exactly. All the different bills you need to pay. Okay. Excellent job. And great question with the receipt versus bill. Now, let me say this one more time and I'll say it fast and you can open your mouth and repeat after me. Did you pay the gas bill yet? Excellent job, everyone. Let's keep going. How about this? This sounds like something between two people with kids, of course. I'll clean up, you get the kids ready for bed. I'll clean up, you get the kids ready for bed. So I'll say it slowly, and then you can repeat after me and listen to these pronunciation changes. I'll clean up. So notice how unstressed this contraction is. Of course, this is what verb tense? I'll clean up. What verb tense is this? Put it in the comments. So this here as the contraction, I will, but it's very unstressed. I'll clean up. I'll clean up. And notice this clean up. I can hold out that N to link it together to the vowel. Clean up. Up. So you hear the N sound on the preposition up. Okay, and you're absolutely, everyone got it. It is the future. That is an easy one. Very nice. Clean up, clean up, clean up. I'll clean up. You get the kids ready for bed. You get so notice there's a double T, so we only need one. Get the kids ready for bed. Now this for can become a very unstressed for bed. Kids ready for bed. Again, not that you have to pronounce it like that. It's just commonly done in spoken English. So I'll say it slowly, the whole thing. I'll clean up. You get the kids ready for bed. Now notice, this is in the future simple, but it's used more to state the two actions that people are going to do right now. More of a spontaneous decision. So I'm just sitting here, and then without thinking about it beforehand, I just say, I'll clean up. So it's more of a spontaneous decision that I just made. It wasn't a planned decision. I'll clean up. Now you get the kids ready for bed. This is more providing an instruction to the other people. And to get someone ready for something just means to prepare them. Prepare them. Exactly, Simply Dust. To prepare them. So notice that sentence structure. You get someone or something ready for, and then something. You can get the presentation ready for the meeting, for example, or you can get the pet's ready for the vet visit. You can prepare in whatever way. Get the food ready for the party. So get something ready for something else. Okay. Yeah, in this case, clean up, tidy up, they're pretty similar. To me, cleanup sounds more specific. For example, the kitchen. I'll clean up the kitchen, which means I will clean the specific mess in the kitchen. And then tidy up sounds more general. I'll clean the kitchen, I'll put the dishes away, I'll put the books away, I'll put the shoes away, but basically they're very, very similar. Yeah, Mario, excellent job. I'll do the dishes. You search something to watch on TV. I wouldn't say search something, to be honest. I would say you find something to watch on TV. So you locate it. You find something to watch, or you can use look for. You look for something to watch on TV. But I wouldn't say search something. Okay. But very nice. That's an excellent job, or an excellent example of providing a spontaneous action and an instruction to someone else. Really nicely done. And Etsy, I'll make breakfast, you get ready to go to work. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You can also do you get ready for work. But this is grammatically correct and well written. Awesome job. Okay, I will get something to eat from the market. You lay the table is a direct translation. You set the table. You set the table. I'll get something from the market. I'll get something to eat from the market. You set the table. You set the table. Okay, awesome job, everyone. Yeah, this is a very useful expression because every day we give ourselves a task and we assign tasks to other people. And you can use this in a business context as well. I'll call the client, you finish the report. You can also reverse them. You finish the report, I'll call the client. So you can reverse them as well. And exactly, Stefania, set the table, to set the table. Okay. I'll pack up, you get ready. Or I'll pack up and get ready. It could be assigning yourself both actions. You can certainly give yourself more than one action. I'll pack up and get ready, or I'll pack up, you get ready. Okay, very nicely done. All right, everyone. Are you enjoying this style of lesson where I teach you natural expressions? If you are, make sure you like this video. It supports my channel and helps me be able to go live and provide these lessons for you, and put yes, 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 yes in the comments if you're enjoying this lesson, and make sure you subscribe so you're notified every time I post a new lesson as well. And also I have this free speaking guide right here beside me. So in this guide, I share my best 6 tips. These are the questions that I get from students every single day. So I put down my best tips in this free guide. So you can just go to my website that you see on the screen and you can download this absolutely free. All right, everyone, let's keep going with our useful expressions, our super useful expressions. And Horatio likes the lesson. Woohoo, Mosab. Prescott loves it. Woohoo, Charisma, Ruth. Let's keep going. Destin, let's keep going. Okay, let's talk about no, we're not ending. We're just getting started. Let's talk about some expressions that you can use while commuting. Now, commuting is a general term. If I were to describe exactly what this man is doing now, I would say driving, because he is driving. But commuting could be the passenger is commuting. I could be on a train, a bus, technically a plane as well. So it's any form of transportation, whether you are the one driving or you're the passenger. Okay. So Let's learn some expressions. How about this one? Ooh, I'll say it fast, slow, and then fast. Keep your eyes peeled for the street. Keep your eyes peeled for the street. Keep your eyes peeled. Okay, so the only thing that's happening here is that your can be more of an unstressed. Keep your eyes peeled. So peeled. Notice that soft D for the ED, peeled, peeled. And then we already talked about how for can become fur, just an unstressed sound for the street. Now make sure when you have STR, which is quite common in English, there are many words with STR. Make sure you hear that R sound, okay? That's important to pronounce it correctly. Street, street, street. So you hear that R, it's very prominent in the sound. So repeat after me. Street, street, street. So you hear that R in this word even more than the vowels. Street, street. Okay, now what does this mean? Keep your eyes peeled. Who knows? Who knows what this means? Keep your eyes peeled. Well, you know that peel means probably, to peel a banana means to remove the skin from the banana. But that's not what we're talking about here, obviously. Okay, yeah. So keep your eyes peeled. Yeah, it's another way of just make sure you watch carefully. You watch carefully for the street. Yeah, so Hidaki, exactly. Watch. I would just add carefully. Yeah. Keep watching carefully. Exactly. Exactly. So if you're driving and you're not really sure where you're going, maybe you tell your friend, keep your eyes peeled for the street because you have to pay attention to the road. You have to watch all the cars and make sure you're driving safely. So then your friend is in charge of finding the street. Keep your eyes peeled for the street. Keep your eyes peeled for the street. Okay. So this is a very common one, definitely while driving, although you can use this in other contexts as well. Generally, when you are trying to find something, you can use this. Okay. So keep your eyes peeled. These are the words that you need. Keep your eyes peeled. So your verb is keep, and that's what you would conjugate. And it would be for and then anything else. Now, I'll say it fast, and then you can repeat after me. Keep your eyes peeled for the street. Keep your eyes peeled for the street. And absolutely, you can peel an apple, you can peel a banana. That's the same verb. So in this case, the verb is to peel. In this case, in this expression, in this idiom, it's to keep. To keep, and then it's one's eyes. So he kept his eyes peeled for the street. So we can combine this with our last expression. I could say to my friend, I'll drive, you keep your eyes peeled for the street. Okay? So if it were he kept his eyes peeled, she kept her eyes peeled, we kept our eyes peeled. So you change your verb keep based on the conjugation of the subject and the time reference, and then your needs to match the subject. And then it's always eyes, it's never I, and then it's always in the ED form for peeled. Peeled. It's not, Pedro, it's not necessarily be careful before crossing the street. No, it's just watch carefully for something or look for something carefully. Okay. So if you are, let's say you're at work and it's your job to review a document. And and it's a 20-page document. Now, your boss or your coworker could say, as you review the document, keep your eyes peeled for any typos or any spelling mistakes, or keep your eyes peeled for information about the project. So look carefully for specific information. So it's not about being careful before crossing the street. In this case, it sounds like the person is driving and they're trying to identify or locate a street. Okay. Oh, right. Yes, peeled here is being used as an adjective because keep is your active verb. All right. Let's keep going. Our next one. Oh, what is a U-turn? Does anyone know what a U-turn is? I'm sure you do. Now, notice the collocation here. You make a U-turn. You make a U-turn. So if you're driving on one street and your friend was supposed to keep her eyes peeled for the street, but she didn't. So you pass the street and then your friend says, "Oh, there's the street." Well, you have to go back. So you have to make a U-turn so you can go in the opposite direction. Okay? So you go in if you're going this way, you go back that way. That's to make, because it's in the shape of a U. You go in the shape of a U, which is where U-turn comes from. Okay, and you make a U-turn. You don't turn a U-turn or go a U-turn or do a U-turn. You make a U-turn. Now, in this is a question that I ask a lot because in Canada, at least, there are many streets where U-turns are not allowed because it's dangerous. So only certain areas you can make a U-turn. So you're asking if legally you can make a U-turn. Can I make a U-turn here? Now I'll say it slow. Can I make a U-turn here? Can I? So notice this is more of an unstressed. Can I? Can I make a? Because this K is going to transfer onto the next sound. So I can say these two words without pausing. Make a U-turn here. Make a U. So you might hear a little bit of a Y sound to glide between U U-turn here. Can I make a U-turn here? Can I make a U-turn here? All right, everyone. Yeah, this is a great one. Keep your eyes peeled for the next U-turn. Exactly. Oh no, we missed the street. So if you didn't turn at the right time, you can say, "We missed the street." Oh no, we missed the street. Keep your eyes peeled for the next U-turn, please. Excellent job, Trucker Martin. That's an excellent one. Okay, so that is definitely a useful expression to have in your vocabulary. Let's keep going. How about this one? Oh, so we talked about a U-turn. What about this? Oh, one-way street. I'm sure this is pretty obvious, but this is the correct phrasing of it. Okay, so again, I'm asking the question. I'll say it fast and then slow and then fast. Is this a one-way street? Now notice my questioning tone because it's a yes, no question. So you can have that rising intonation at the end. Is this a one-way street? So you can come up just a little bit at the end of street, eat. Is this a one-way street? Now I'll say it slow. Is this a one-way street? Is this a one-way street? Okay, so is this, did you hear how my S held on to the A? Is this, so you hear a little bit of a S in front of the A. Is this a one? So remember, the pronunciation of one is exactly the same as WON. I won the game. I scored 1 point and won the game. It's the same pronunciation. So you hear that a little bit of W, which is the rounded lips. One, a one-way street. So a one-way street is all the traffic goes in one direction. So there is multiple lanes. So the area that a car drives in is called a lane. So it could be one lane and then one lane. So at 2 lanes, but both lanes are going in the same direction. Okay. So it means you can't come this way because it's a one-way street, which is always confusing when you're driving in places you're not familiar with. You need to look out for one-way streets. Is this a one-way street? Is this a one-way street? So that's how you would say it fast. Make sure you repeat after me. Is this a one-way street? All right. Let's go our next one. And this is definitely something you should ask as well. What's the speed limit? What's the speed limit? What's the speed limit? Okay. Now notice my intonation did not go up at the end, even though it's a question, because the intonation goes up at the end if it's a yes, no question. This isn't a yes, no question. The person would say 80 kilometers per hour, for example. 80, 90, 100, 60, 50, 40, whatever the speed limit is. So because it's not a one-way or a yes, no question, my intonation does not rise, even though it's a question. So I'll say it slowly. What's the speed limit? There's really not much going on here because there's no real linking. You can't link an S and a T or an E and an S or a D and an L. So there's really nothing changing for pronunciation. So I'll just say it fast again and you can repeat after me. What's the speed limit? Speed limit. Now this speed, just a native speaker, we're not going to push out that D because it will force us to take a pause. So I'll just say speed limit. So I'll keep my mouth in that closed position for the D. And when I open my mouth, I'll pronounce limit. Now, generally, native speakers don't pronounce T's in mid position or end position when it forces us to take a pause. But if I'm already taking a pause because it's the end of the sentence, then I can pronounce the T because I'm already pausing. So there's no reason to avoid pronouncing the T. Okay, what's the speed limit? That is exactly a question you need to ask as well. Oh, how about this one? What does this mean? You could be a passenger or the driver and you say this to someone. Make sure you buckle up. Make sure you buckle up. Buckle up. Now, often native speakers will just say these 2 words, buckle up, buckle up, buckle up. So notice how I hold out that dark L, buckle up, and then I pronounce the up, buckle up, buckle up, buckle up. Make sure you buckle up. Make sure you buckle up. Exactly. Fasten your seatbelt. Woohoo. Way to go. Fasten your seatbelt. Exactly. Yeah, seatbelt, seatbelt. So you can absolutely say, fasten your seatbelt. That sounds great. Or you can say, buckle up, buckle up. What is the speed limit of this one-way street? Exactly. You can absolutely combine both of those. Great job. Great job. Yeah, excuse me. Close your seatbelt is not the verb we would use. It would be fasten. Fasten your seatbelt. Or you can say buckle up. Oh, right. How about this one? Let's talk about meal prep. What do I mean by prep? Do you know? Well, you can kind of get the sense from this very beautiful image here. But what does prep mean in this case? Meal prep. Oh, this is something that takes the average person a lot of time in the day for sure. And exactly, it means preparation, preparation. So you got it. You got it. So native speakers, we like to take the word preparation and we just combine it to prep, prep. So meal prep, meal prep. So prepare your meals. So let's learn some useful expressions. I'll say it fast. Do you have time to get groceries after work? So this could be a question that you ask your roommate, your sister, whoever you live with, your husband, your wife, your kids if they're old enough to do this activity for you. Do you have time to get groceries after work? Now, this is a yes no question, so you can hear my rising intonation at the end. Do you have? Do you have? Do you have? So I will say this as more do you have, but it can be very unstressed. Dia, dia, dia. You just hear the D and ya. Do you have? Do you have? A lot of native speakers will say it that fast, to be honest. I tend to pronounce it a little bit more and say, do you have? Do you have? Do you have time? Now, this is our preposition, so it can simply be to get groceries, get groceries. Now, notice this T is not pronounced because it will cause you to take a puff of air, take a breath, so it will create a pause. Get groceries after work. Groceries after work. You might hear a little bit of this S on the A, groceries after. So you might hear safter. So you might hear a lingering S. Groceries after work. After work, work, work. Okay, so this is the most common thing. You get groceries, which means you go to the grocery store and you buy groceries. That is get groceries. Get groceries. That is what a native speaker will say. Sure, you could say shop for groceries, but that is a direct translation. And that is not what a native speaker would say, although grammatically it's correct. And I understand you, but it just is not a natural phrasing. You get groceries. You get groceries. You don't shop for groceries. You get groceries. Okay. Now, instead of get, the other alternative could be pick up groceries. Can you or do you have time to pick up groceries after work? Get groceries after work. Do you have time to pick some groceries up? Yeah, you can also say pick some groceries up. Exactly. Pick some groceries up. Very nicely done. Or pick up some groceries. Nice. And yeah, in this case, get means buy, to buy, and to bring home as well. All right. So get groceries, get groceries. Now, an alternative, do you have time to go grocery shopping after work. That is, so shop for groceries, that's not something a native would say. But a native could say to go shopping. Yeah, exactly, Pedro. To go shopping. But shopping is general. It could be for clothes, it could be for household products like pillows, paint. It could be for anything, cleaning supplies, pet food. So it's just general. So if you want to be specific, do you have time to go grocery shopping? To go grocery shopping after work. So that is also common. Get groceries is by far the most common. It's what I use 99% of the time. But alternatively, you could use this one. Okay. All right. So definitely you need this one. How about this one? So let's say the person says, yes, I have time. No problem. I can pick up groceries. I can get groceries. Then you can say, I'll send you a list when I get home. I'll send you a list when I get home. I'll send you a list when I get home. Now, if you just saw this sentence, what list? It could be a list of work tasks. It could be a list of things that need to be fixed around the house. It could be anything. But because I just had this sentence, we'll assume that it's a grocery list. So if you want to modify it, you would put the word grocery before list. I'll send you a grocery list. So that is all the items you need to buy. Bananas, apples, milk, bread, butter, honey. So all the items, that's your grocery list. But in the context of buying groceries, of getting groceries, you can just call it a list. Oh no, I forgot the list at home. What do we need? Do we need milk? I can't remember. I forgot the list, or I didn't make a list. So the verb would be make. Now I'll send you, but first I have to make the list, which is the verb you would use. And then because let's say my husband is already out, then I'll send him, which would represent text, WhatsApp, email, whatever method of sending. I'll send you a list when I get home. So I'll say it slowly. I'll send you. Notice again, because we have a D and a Y. DY creates the sound J. Just like the colors red and white create pink. So it's just the same phenomenon that DY, the sounds create J. So when you say a D and Y close together, it will automatically create J. So, native speakers, it's not like I think about how to pronounce this, it just happens naturally. I'll send you. I'll send you. So that's why you might hear a j, j. I'll send you, Jew. I'll send you. Again, certainly not a requirement. It is just something that naturally happens. But you can absolutely say, I'll send you. I'll send you. But to do that, you have to really take a little bit of a pause there. I'll send you. I'll send you. So it's just easier to pronounce it with a little bit of a J sound. We already talked about how this unstressed contraction will be all. It's just a dark L, all. I'll send you. I'll send you a list when I get home. I'll send you a list when I get home. When I get home. So get home means when I return home. When I return home. Okay. Because I am not home right now. Maybe I am at work or I'm walking the dog. I'm picking the kids up from school. I'm not at home. So I will get home. I will check what groceries we need. I'll make a list and then I'll send you the list. Okay. So very useful expressions to have in your vocabulary. What about you? Do you make a grocery list before you get groceries? Before you get groceries, do you make a grocery list? Do you make a list? I always do, because if I don't, I never remember what to buy. Okay, how about this one? So, in the context of, let's say my husband's going to get groceries after work, I'm going to send him a list when I get home. And then maybe he texts me and he really likes pickles. So he says, "Can you check if we have any pickles? Can you check if we have any pickles?" So he wants to make sure there are enough pickles in the fridge. And then if we are out or low, then I will add pickles to the list. But he wants me to check. So he doesn't know what the status of the pickles is. He wants me to check. So in this case, check means verify. Can you check if can you check if we have any pickles? Now, this is a yes, no question, because I'll say, sure, no problem, of course. So I will have a rising intonation. Can you check? Can you? Can you check if we have any pickles? Okay, I'll say it slowly. Can you check if we have any pickles? Now, notice this have any, have any. I hold the v sound out. Have any, have any, have any, have any. If we have any pickles. All right, so my husband wants to make sure that we add pickles to the list. So notice that co-location, you add something to the list. Oh no, we only have one pickle left. Add it to the list. Okay. Yes, exactly, Etsy. We're running out of pickles. Who knows what this means? We're running out of pickles. Oh no, we're running out of pickles. And Stefania, yes, pickles are healthy and tasty. Do you make your own pickles? Has anyone made pickles before? It is extremely easy to do. You should make your own pickles. They're way healthier than buying them from a store. Okay. Make sure you use the co-location make. You make a grocery list. You make a grocery list. All right. Yeah, you could say we're short of pickles. We're short of pickles. Add that s because we use them in the plural form. Yes, you can have one pickle. Can you give me one pickle? But the jar contains many, not just one, right? So you would say short of pickles with the S. Okay, yes. Good job, everyone. We have no more pickles. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, this sounds very technical. So this might be something that the pickle manufacturer would say. But an average person who's just eating pickles at home, this is too technical. It's too formal. It's not an everyday thing. Yes, you make a grocery list. Woohoo, good job. Good correction. Excellent job. Okay, a jar of pickles. Exactly, exactly. A jar of pickles. Very nice. All right, what about this one? What does this mean? We're almost out of mayo. I'll say it again fast. We're almost out of mayo. We're almost out of mayo. First of all, what is mayo? And what does this mean? Now I'll say it slowly and I'll explain the pronunciation. So we are, again, very unstressed contraction. We're almost. We're almost. Now out of will combine together to outa. We're almost out of mayo. Outa. We're almost out of mayo. We're almost out of mayo. Excuse me. Yes, mayonnaise. Mayonnaise, exactly. Have you ever made your own mayonnaise? I have not. And you're right, the mayonnaise level is very low. So if you have a jar of mayonnaise, it generally comes in a jar in North America at least. So you have a jar and it's you have this much in the jar. So the jar is this big and you only have this much. We're almost out of mayo. So your mayonnaise level is very low. That's the perfect way of describing it. Excellent job. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So you have mayo, but you have little mayo. So it's not zero mayo, but maybe it's 5% of the jar. Okay. Exactly. We're about to finish our mayo. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, it's easy to make mayo. Okay. I like making my own things because it's way healthier than buying things from the store, which is just filled with sugar and salt. So maybe I will try making it, but I don't really eat a lot of mayo. What about you? Do you guys eat a lot of mayo? I don't really. Okay, let's keep going. What do we have next? This is constantly what I say, and I'll say it naturally. What do you want to have for dinner tonight? So, again, it's not a yes no question, so there won't be a rising intonation. What do you want to have for dinner tonight? What do you want to have for dinner tonight? So, notice how this what do you want to, what do you wanna, what do you wanna, what do you wanna? I think most students know that because it's such a common combination of sounds. What do you wanna? What do you wanna have for? So again, that for can be more of an unstressed. Have for dinner tonight. Now you can get rid of the to have and you can just say, what do you want for dinner tonight? What do you want for dinner tonight? You can. The to have is not required to understand the meaning of this. What do you want to have for dinner tonight? And then the person will reply, okay, so just for fun, I am asking you. And if you already ate, I don't know what the time zone is. Just think of tomorrow night. Okay. So I'm asking you, I will make you anything. What do you want to have for dinner tonight? Put your answer in the comments just for fun. Okay. All right. So this is something you will ask whoever lives in your house with you. Or maybe you invited a friend over for dinner. Now, how about this one? What do you think this means? I'll say it fast and then I'll say it slow and I'll explain the pronunciation and then I'll say it fast again. And yes, this is being recorded. It will be available on the channel. I think it's available now, but yes, as soon as it's done, it will also be available. Okay. So how about this? I'll say it fast. Is there anything in the freezer? So this can be a rising intonation because it's a yes, no. Yes, there is. No, there isn't. But what am I really asking? Remember in the context of preparing for dinner, and then if I said this to someone, what does it mean? What am I asking? It's very common in North America. I don't know if this would be common around the world where you live. Oh, Hidaki, salad and soup. You're easy to please. That's pretty easy. Vegetarian, I can do that. I make some really good vegetarian options. Ooh, spinach lasagna. That's excellent. I make a good zucchini lasagna as well. Vegetable salad, easy. Pasta, I can make you pasta. It's not the refrigerator. The freezer is not the refrigerator. They're separate. They're separate. Ooh, spaghetti. I can make you spaghetti. Moroccan chicken. Uh-oh. That's going to be difficult. I've never done that before. Boiled potato and an egg. I can do that for you for sure. A bowl of salad and 1 portion of meat. Okay, I can do that. Pasta, yep. Fish and protein. Yes, I can do that for you. Trucker got it. Okay, guys, it's not the fridge. The fridge and the freezer are two separate appliances. Generally, they are sold as one unit, but it's either side by side, two doors open, or it's top and bottom, but they're not the same thing. The fridge is the refrigerator. The freezer is the freezer. I don't think there's a longer word for the word freezer. I think it's just freezer. I've never called it anything but freezer. Okay, but it's separate. Freezer, think of ice. But fridge, it's not frozen. It's cold, but not frozen. And Trucker Martin got it. Okay. Is there any frozen food from yesterday's dinner? Yeah, but it doesn't have to be yesterday's dinner. So in North America, we will commonly prepare. Remember, this category is meal prep, preparing food. We will commonly prepare larger portions of meals. Like, let's say I'm making a vegetable lasagna. I might make a really big vegetable lasagna and I will eat one half of it for dinner and I will freeze the other half of the vegetable lasagna. So in the future, if I don't want to cook, I can just take that vegetable lasagna out in the morning and it will defrost and I will eat it at night. So this is something that's very common in North America. We have prepared meals in our freezer, but they're frozen. So if I'm busy or I don't have any groceries or I don't have any time or I'm not feeling very well, I can just take something out of the freezer and eat it for dinner. Does that concept exist in your country? Do you have this concept of having prepared frozen meals that you can eat when you need to? It's very common in North America. So is there anything in the freezer? The anything represents prepared meals, But yes, you would keep ice cream in the freezer. Okay. And yes, Dorothy, what food do we have in the freezer? Exactly. Okay. Very nice, everyone. Yeah, so defrost means that it goes from a frozen to a non-frozen state. But after it is not frozen, you still need to heat it up because it is not hot, it's just not frozen. But if it's frozen, it will take a really long time to heat up. So generally, we'll take the item, the prepared meal, out of the freezer 4 hours before we eat it or longer. You let it defrost and then you just heat it up and then you eat it. Oh, it's common in France. Okay. I didn't know that. Awesome. Yeah, pre-cooked food. Exactly. Yes, it is the colder part of the fridge. Exactly. It's where you put your ice cream, your ice, things freeze solid. Yes, this is exactly right. Defrost, melt, and then you heat up. Yes, exactly. Oh, that's awesome. Same in Japan. That's great. Okay, that's great. All right. Yeah, for sure. You can freeze meat as well. Absolutely. Yeah. Very nice. And you're right. A lot of things, they don't taste very good after freezing. It definitely can become watery for sure. Very good point. All right. And in Brazil, that's awesome. Okay, how about we save this one for next class because we're out of time, guys. This was really fun. We will save this one for next class. So now you can be excited. We'll talk about this one later. And What did you guys think? Did you like this lesson? Do you want to keep going with other categories? And again, make sure I have this free speaking guide for you. You can get this from my website, absolutely free. Just enter your name and email, and then you will get this. And I share my best tips to help you speak English fluently and confidently. And also, make sure you like this lesson, subscribe so you're notified every time I post a new lesson, and put yes, 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 yes if you like this lesson. I know, Stefania. I actually had 2 other categories. So sorry, we'll have to do it another time. All right. Oh, nice. I'm glad you just watched my video about the 33 daily words with Colonel Sanders. That was a very inspirational story. I really like that one. Yeah, thaw out and defrost. Yeah. I think there's technically like a slight difference between them, but I would certainly use them interchangeably. Thaw out, defrost. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Yeah, you don't need the freezer. Just put it right outside. Absolutely. You can do that as well. Woohoo. Oh, look at all these yeses. Thank you so much. I am so glad. Thank you, Horatio. Stefania, you're very welcome. Hidaki liked it. Woohoo. Oh, and it's common in Sri Lanka to have frozen food. That's awesome. I mean, it just makes things easier for sure. You're right. Maybe not as delicious, but sometimes you just don't have time to make a lasagna. All right. You're very welcome. I'm so glad you enjoyed the lesson. I had a lot of fun, and thank you so much. I'm so glad you enjoyed the lessons. Oh, thank you so much. It's my pleasure. And woohoo, more to come, more to come. All right. We have 2 more categories we didn't get through in this class. So we will keep going next class. And now, yeah, you know the difference between fridge and freezer for sure. You don't want to get those wrong for sure. All right, everyone. I will see all of you next time. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Now I'm a little bit hungry from all this food conversation. Bye, everyone.